All right, so testing, testing. Just making sure everything in our gear. Making sure everything in our gear. All right, so testing, testing. All right, we on there. All right, so first and foremost, want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai,
Shah
Ba'asham,
Shem
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash.
Right, we say double and say apostles and elders are great notes and rule well, our teachers in the truth. Right, we say salutations, solely came out to the pushing the word on truth and sincerity day in and day out. Constantly in season, out of season. We say shalom. Right?
Shalom.
Once again, the story about some GMS Trinidad East, which is one of the camps in Trinidad here, the island of Trinidad, and we just going as the title of the video said, say, going into the just touching upon the chariots, you what the chariots of the Lord, which the world call, the world call UFOs, which you say UFOs were unidentified flying object, you know. We just say IFOs meaning identified flying object because we know what it is. We could identify to the scriptures what it is, right? And according to the scriptures, um, they go that the chariots of the Lord, right?
Okay.
And it are many instances you could touch upon the Bible to show that the Lord use it. You could go in even just calling out my mind is just to say um going back to the Moses days, you know, it was a cloud by day and a pillar by night, right?
With you.
So, right, yeah, well, right, we could start with that, bring it out.
All right. So this is Exodus 13. I'll start from this time. Salakia. Yeah. Exodus 13, verse. This time. I know how to say it. Yeah, 21. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Exodus 13, verse 21. Say, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud. Right? This is to lead them. This is to lead them the way. And by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. You see verse 22, it say, he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. And I'm going
Can,
back into what it is called. You see like them UFO movies and them where you see the beam that has come down and pull you up. You understand? That was portrayed in the movies. That beam, that kind of beam of light that has come down and actually pull you up into the ship.
can.
They say like on Star Trek, beam me up, Scotty. You understand? That pillar of fire.
Can. So, the Barabang on the streets. But let's go back in that. It have plenty instances when you reach when there was in Exodus, that plenty scriptures where Moses mentioned the chariots. Even when Pharaoh was chasing them, you know,
Okay.
it was there even when the pillar come in the pillar the cloud come in the midst of the whole Israel, So going into to nowadays, like to modern news and modern well today, you know, within this month that passed here, because we're going into a next month weekend here coming, right? This month here by itself, it had many instances where UFOs or chariots were spotted, around the world. For instance, like this article that I have here, it say a fleet of UFOs followed U.S. aircraft and U.S. aircraft, right? And this was just one day ago, right? Um, so if let's go into it, it's a fleet of UFOs followed U.S. aircraft, Navy pilot says, right? And this was just this month. He also had an article states that the government, it also had an article that state, let me see if I get that one while I'm mentioning it, so I could prove what it is I'm saying, right? Right. Um, let me get that one here. Let's get the next one here quick. Right, they say Navy admits we may be surrounded by aliens, right? And this is the you see it's a I ain't getting the article that I saved on my phone here, right? But I have the article on my phone. It say as 2020 race heats up, Navy admits we may be surrounded by aliens, right? But we just the word alien just means stranger, right? Now,
Can.
when they go into all these things here, all these it's look this article here state aliens ahoy, Navy developing guidelines on reporting UFO sightings. So as the months and the days go on, you see more and more um, more and more cases or news that that chariots are being spotted, right? And that's a good sign for us, right?
Can.
That's a very good sign for us. So you see all these things here, right? So let's go into the scripture here. This is second Ezra chapter 9, also from verse 1. He said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same day wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right? So we seen the Lord visiting,
Can.
right? We seen we go and who he visiting? He visiting he mentioned we will go on to it here. It say, therefore when there shall Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou well understand that the Most High speak of these things before the days that there were before thee, even from the beginning. Right now, let's jump back in to verse 2. It said, "Then shall thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." Right? We seen these chariots, we seen all these things happening, so we don't know the Lord. He already with these all these sightings and so forth. The encounters they're experiencing is because hey, we see is because the day is shortening.
Can.
The time soon come. Where you have like the government stating that all right, um 2020 as the 2020 race heats up, Navy admits we may be surrounded by aliens, right? So you see all these things. So this going back to second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1, he said, answer me then thou answered me then and he answered me then and said, measure all the time diligently in itself, right? So measure the time diligently. When you see these things, it's because you have to measure the time, right? See the multiple cycle and the chart and all these things. Hey, that is the work of the Lord.
Can.
That is the work of the Lord, right?
If I could also say,
That's, yeah, go ahead.
you see, it also had an article that come out some time ago that I was reading where it said that the U.S. government was preparing for alien invasion.
Yeah. Remember that even like what Trump set up, remember they go and set up the oh god, the space station and so on they want to set up, right?
Can.
Because they know the Lord coming from outside,
Can.
you know. they want to set up the stuff. So at the end of the day, when they go into the scriptures, it's because at the end of the day, Esau will want to fight against the Lord, right?
Can. And
Right?
that goes with the prophecy also. Okay, say though they climb into heaven,
That's right.
I'll tear them down.
Gan, will be there, right? But hey, at the end, when you see, and I know at that point people might see these articles and laugh and think it's a joke, like what the Navy really saying,
Can.
I'm trying to get the article here. Um, let's see if I get this next article here before I go into the next scripture as 2020. Yes, it's,
I want to Amos.
look at here. I think this is it here, right?
And if like
It
the
say,
last one you're talking about,
hear this,
hey, go
hear
ahead.
this one, eh? It say, Navy pilots was seeing UFOs on an almost daily basis in 2014-2015 report, right? And this is just to show you that, and this article came out the 2019 the 5th month, the 27th day, right, which was just some days ago, right? And this, you know, and this is to show you, it is to show you really and truly, you're seeing, hey, with these things happening, is a great sight for us. As the scriptures say, the kings wanted to see these things, the signs that we see, right? I have a scripture here. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 17. It says the chariots of God are 20,000, 7,000 of angels, and the Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. Right? So that is to show if, like also about the article, like how they say it has so much, is because the chariots is representing the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Right? Thousands the Lord have. The,
Can.
the scriptures say when the Lord come, the sky gone darken, right? So you can just imagine what is to come.
Can.
So they get tired. All these stories are playing out here is because Esau know. Esau know, right? Go ahead.
If you look at the programming that Esau does give you, they just program you through the movies to think that the chariot is something bad for you. You
Can
understand?
they make it seem like they make it seem like if like how there's for the green man and thing on the TV act,
Can.
and to make you feel like when these things come, um um when these things come, you're going to have aliens, the green, they're going to come for your blood. Yeah, really and truly, they coming for your blood, But we just say, how East sort of split in the movies now, right? How they try to bring it in is because they wanted to believe. Matter of fact, you know what? East sort of is doing his job because in a day, when I think about it, really, when those chariots really bust the sky, all of these people going to get frightened. It's
Can.
fright, you know? It's fright, right? I have a scripture here.
Can.
This is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 14. It say, and when you see this, your heart shall rejoice. It say, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies. Right?
Can.
It say, behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to
Can.
render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Now, this was Isaiah talking about this prophecy, and he said for For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. Now, if you watch our whirlwind that spin, picture how they make or they pay it, or I know majority of the brothers a majority of people already saw those things in the sky,
Can.
and it spin like a whirlwind, right? It say for behold, I will behold the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So all the chariots is spotted and going into this article here stating that what um that a fleet of UFOs followed US aircraft, right? It's because the Lord coming to the Lord, hey, the Lord could do whatever he please, he going through, he watching around, frightening Esau a little bit, make them see when get Esau bomb, you know, because he did the Lord know he coming to destroy, coming to destroy these the God going to use his chariots to destroy Esau chariots,
Can.
where they think this like the best fighter jet they have. You really think the best fighter jet could fight against the Lord? So it say, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. It say, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and all slain of the Lord shall be many. Hey, and how the Lord gonna do that? And majority scared by these chariots, but by by the by the nukes, the ICBMs as well. But then that remain, what going to happen? And don't get tapped. The Lord, Esau, when Esau see those chariots on the sky, we feel they want to fight against the Lord. They will fight against the Lord. The scriptures mention that, right?
Then second
So go ahead, Ark,
address.
if you anything to say, good. Yeah.
Like when I think like some second address we say where you say he he hewed up a great mountain and flew upon it. But I don't remember exactly which part it is.
Yeah. I know which one it is. You good. If anything, you good.
Yeah, that one. I one in Zechariah. You had that one?
Now you go ahead, bring it up. Bring it up.
Alright. It says Zechariah 5 verse 1. It said, Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Alright. It said, And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Right? Verse 3, it say, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
And you say it's a curse. It's a curse. Go ahead, Ark.
Yeah. This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, for every one that stealeth shall be cut. Yeah. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side, according to it. You understand correctly and truly them chariots coming to deliver judgment in the last times.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And we act we already know when the end of days. So when you see in these chariots and so forth, we don't know what is it. There's a sign.
Can.
There's a sign. If you just read over the last verse in that precept to bring out.
Last verse was true, right? It say, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
Mm-hmm.
It say, For every
Over
one
the
that
face of the whole earth. So you can imagine the whole earth. You can imagine the Lord coming in the fathership, a big one. Big huge one. Like Independence Day show you that,
can,
right? Go ahead.
yeah, the whole earth, for every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, is destruction going to happen when the Lord come. And that same scripture I mentioned, when Zachariah say, let's start over it for Mark.
Which one? The whole that's the same one or the verse 3?
Yeah, let's start. No. The first verse they bring up for me.
All right. It said, Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and
Mm-hmm.
behold, a flying roll.
You see our
You see, behold, a flying roll.
a flying rule. A flying rule. So like people who doubt in it. So then what would it's Zachariah, right? What would
Mhm.
um Zachariah be saying? He said a flying rule. What would Zachariah be saying? Imagine back in those days, it didn't have planes, it didn't have
Can
these things. So what would Zachariah be saying? What is a flying rule then? What
he
he
had not
saying?
he had not to compare it to.
Yeah, it
That's
had
all
nothing to
all of
compare it to. Understand? So you say, you know what? A flying rule. Because of what? The charts they be spinning.
it
It's
was
a
flying.
flying rule. Yeah. So let's think about it. Okay, if the Lord at the end of the day, this is a major thing for the Christians, for the Catholics, and so forth. So then, how would you answer someone that believe in UFOs and you're reading the Bible? How would they answer? Like in a Christian mindset, they can't. But then, we're trying to say the Lord so all great and so powerful that He mentioned this. Come on, man,
All
it's
right,
a must.
I also say, you'll see like with ESOP programming, you'll always see like any movies, the people who actually believe in UFOs, there's always portray them as crazy, like wearing foil cap
Can
on their head and
yeah,
all kind of mad images to when that soak into people's head, when people start come out on the street and telling them, hey, those things are the chariots, they're watching them like, wait, boy, like you'll be wearing foil caps, boy. Yeah, sound like you must be crazy because
yeah,
the programming.
can. Yeah, and that beautiful thing you bring up because everything that there is it twisting things upside down. Everything that good is so put bad, and everything
Can
that bad is so put good, and like that he duty. That is why just as you say, like how they put the foil cap and so forth. That is why they bring out things like conspiracy and things. It's always make a conspiracy theorist look mad. You know,
can
and that's how the majority are the fools. The idiots also they just believe them. This man mad, but he, the white man see him mad, but what this person really said, and it's true.
can
You know, it's true. It's just like us. They always covenant what we teaching of, but what we teaching is the truth, right? Um, all right. Um, that scripture here. This is Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 13. Right? It say behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as a whirlwind, his horses as swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. Right? It say O Jerusalem, wash thine hand from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? Right? So just to say, it's a it say, behold, he shall come up as clouds, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as a whirlwind. So let's say if that is how the Lord coming, and it's the Lord coming by chariots. So then what is the Lord chariots?
your
It
voice
can
break up
never
a
be a
bit.
white horse. Salak.
Yeah,
Yeah, am I know, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So it can never be a white horse. If the scripture say, behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as a whirlwind, right? His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. So then again, if the Lord see come with chariots, so then what is the chariot? It had to be where is the chariot? And these Christians can't answer that. They go pain fear. They go say it's Pegasus, a white horse with wings.
I remember I remember when I used to watch like them long time before I come in the truth. And I used to watch them like them biblical pictures in the Bible and so forth, and it had the story of Elijah when he went up into the chariot. And in the Bible, that it actually paint that chariot, like how them gladiators would be on them horses with the chariots. The chariot was something
Yeah,
like that. You understand? But the wheels on the chariot was on fire,
yeah, can.
and it was just flying. But that is how they just actually think that the chariots of the Lord is like a horse in front, and like a kind of carriage thing in the back, like what I used to do long time,
Yeah,
that it could fly
yeah,
like Harry Potter.
yeah. And true. And that's add to that. There is the horse, like Pegasus and so forth. That go back to like is Greek mythology. Understand? That is where you go back to. I have a scripture here. This is Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 16. It say the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and their four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. So when you're
Can
watching like the chariot, you see it's like a wheel in a middle of a wheel because the wheel was spinning. Like
can
before I came into the troop, right? Um, I remember seeing about three big, big, with like big chariots, and you was actually seeing the spinning formation. That is how big I saw it, right? And hey, the script doesn't lie. At the moment, I was in the truth, so I couldn't explain to say like, hey, what is this? I remember
can
me, and it just wasn't only me that saw it. It was my aunt as well, and she screamed when she saw it because here I say it was big, like you see it real huge, you know, real huge. You understand? So reading over that scripture, it says Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 16. It said the appearance of the wheels, right? It say the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto a color of a beryl, and their four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel,
can
right? So that's it. And many scriptures have mentioned the chariots, UFOs are the Lord, and the dies with the Lord coming back with to deal with this place, right?
In case the people doesn't understand the parables, the term horse just simply represents power. It's like I talk about a
Yeah,
car and with 4,000 horsepower. Yes, and they think it's a literal horse. But the scriptures, they talk about the scriptures as being allegories and dark sayings. Just like in Revelation, we talk about the red horse. The red horse wasn't a literal horse either.
can, can, yeah. That is and that just show you how literal Esau and like these Christians read the Bible. When they say horse, they're thinking there's a horse,
Can
you know. What's the what you say, what's the famous horse? What do you used to make you read long time in school? Black Beauty, or something
nah,
like that. You remember that?
that one. Nah, I don't remember that one.
It's it used to make you do that in like literature and way,
Nah, I don't remember that one.
you know? Right? Um The man, I'll get it. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It say,
Can.
behold, he cometh with clouds. Again. So think about it. It said, behold, he cometh with clouds. The clouds is just a mention for the Lord chariot, you know?
Can. It being
And
white and black.
um, yeah, because I mean the clouds already here. When I say like the clouds that we see every day.
Can.
So why So it say, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him, and all the kingdoms of the earth shall wail because of him. You understand? So the Lord come back on these things. And when you see like all these articles that stating um and you know uh hundreds of sites of UFOs and so on, hey, there's a beautiful thing. There's a beautiful thing.
Sure, with that piece of his, he say he hewed himself out a great mountain. I don't remember that one. I don't remember what it is.
Let me see if I get it here. Alright, I think that was second is just check 13 or something so.
Can. Already and truly act. That is what we will call we act to be. You understand?
Yeah,
Because
but that is the act.
before it was a boat, this time it's gonna be a
Yeah.
chariot.
Yeah, because think about it, it was a flood, and the scriptures mention that this world is reserved for fire.
Can.
So how we gonna come out from that fire? We had to be taken up, and that is, as your brother said, that is the next act. That is where you call the act to take us out from this place,
I find it.
right? Yeah, you good?
Right. To say the second is just 13. I'll start from I'll start from 5. Right? 13 verse 5. It say, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was a there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number, sorry, out of number, Slakia, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right? Verse 6 it say, but I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. You understand? And that mountain he talking about, he actually used earth bending and just form a big mountain. You understand? That mountain was portraying the chariot being so big. You understand? You see, but I have seen the region of place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, and I just show how big it was. Yeah, so
Can
imagine seeing something so big that when you look up, you can't even see where it ended. Was it big? You say,
can
and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him was so afraid, and yet just fight, because they had, as the prophecy states, they had to fight against him and be destroyed.
they're frightened about it. They're frightened about it. Go and fight. That is just really pride that you saw.
Can
You know. Hey,
say, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. It say, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire. It say, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And that is the next thing these Catholics is portrayed different. Because I remember seeing pictures, I think it was in Revelation, where when they say a sword went out from his mouth, and they actually had a picture of the Messiah with the mouth open and an actual sword was pointing out from it. You understand?
Orochimaru.
So they actually taken everything literal, like it was an actual sword that was actually pointing
Yeah.
out to him out.
Eh,
Orochimaru.
eh.
They say verse 11 is say, and they were all mixed together, the blasts of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempests, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one. It says, so that upon
And burn them up.
can nothing remain. It says, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived. They say, but only dust and and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Turn. That like we was mentioned before, how they're going to fight against the Lord. But don't get tired of the Lord coming with the army.
Can
And this is the technology that in these things, it way beyond Esau
can
mindset. You know, hey, these chariots, it have videos where people saw the chariots diving into like volcanoes and things.
can
Esau don't have that technology. Esau don't have that. You know, I have a precept here. And I feel this might be my last precept, and we could bring back all the chariots tomorrow. Is anything for as well again?
can
You know, this is Isaiah 26. I'll start from verse 20. It says, "Come, my people, enter down into thy chambers, and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." Now,
can
within that chamber and within that door, would not mean that you would have to you had to be going inside something.
can
You understand? Right? So you say, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. They say, "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for the iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." Right? But this with matter 20, it is to show you that, hey, the elect, they will be caught up with the, and we just say, being more caught up with the Lord. Being redeemed in those chariots, being caught up in the chariots. They show it in the movies where you're being pulled up in the chariots. They show
you
it in
talk about
many
the rapture.
movies. Yeah, like, but yeah, and no, not really the rapture, because the rapture they don't show you UFOs,
Yeah, the
but
doctor
they
show
show
the
you.
UFO.
Yeah, it had other movies where they show you like the UFOs was like picking up people off the ground, right? So and when you pick them up, where you going? You're going inside of something. So when you read Isaiah 26 to 26, "Come, my people, enter down into thy chambers." That means a chamber. Yet that means that they be going inside something. You know, it say, "And shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation overpass." So how you gonna hide yourself? That means that they be going inside of something, not so.
Can it had to
They
be
be going
something
inside
big.
something to hide yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So these things like these UFOs, what they call them UFOs, actually chariots of the Lord.
can.
You understand? So, that was my last piece. Yeah. If anything else, you can bring it up.
No, that's it with me.
You understand? So, hey, you touch back on the stuff like I in para as well. And bring on some other precepts, because on a daily basis, brothers and women are like articles with people seeing UFOs and so on. And that's a
Can
beautiful thing, you know, a beautiful thing. Scriptures, what did Luke say? Luke say, look up, for your redemption, joy it nice. Why would the Lord tell you look up for?
can.
You
And if you can
understand?
see
So,
how
hey,
you see the things coming out so much not Esau can hide it, so he might yeah that admit it.
yeah, yeah, you have to admit it. That's right. You know, when it didn't come into light, right? Say, hey, you know that? Again, we give our praises to
So,
Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai,
Shah,
Ba'asham Rokah
Shah,
Kodash.
Kodash,
We sit down and see the apostles and elders of great most well,
can,
right? Our teachers and the students that teachers us should daily, right? When we say Shalom, and they say Shalom to all the came out to the pushing rule no truth and sincerity day in and day out,
can,
constantly in season out of season, right? Until next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.